Hi, beautiful souls. I feel like this video is really important because these energies right now is really, really powerful. These powerful energies are being integrated, and how we can feel that or how we can make that a way of being is to do our own shadow work, because because of these energies we are getting triggered. Because especially today I have been really triggered by many things. And when the light is being integrated in our own self, the darkness is wanting to come out. It's wanting to be seen for what it was, for what it still is within us all, but the earth doesn't have room for that darkness anymore to be the ruler of this world. And the light is shining so bright on us all right now and within us all, and that is why our triggers has a purpose. Because for what it does with us is letting that way of being that we have not felt so comfortable with in being, like our own shadow self. We have been very limited in our thinking of our own self and of humanity as a whole. We have been controlling and manipulating and judging, and all of these ways of being that has made us going against each other. We have been against our own self, and therefore we have been fighting each other. Because when you are fighting yourself, or when you're fighting each other, like other people outside of yourself, you are actually fighting your own self. And in my last video, I was talking about these new energies that is making us coming into unity consciousness. And to come into unity consciousness is to be aware of that we are one being. As a whole on earth, we are one. We are one with the universe and all. And in this third dimensional consciousness, we are seeing ourselves being separate from each other. We see everything that everything is outside of ourselves, and we are living outside of ourselves, and we haven't really been so conscious about going within and listening to our inner voice and our own soul, like how we want to be, like how do we want to be treated by others, and how are we treating our own selves, and how are we treating others. Because these new energies is how they are being integrated is by doing our own. It's not by always doing our own shadow work, because we will be forced to do our own shadow work. And that is why so many people are suffering right now. And I have felt also that I have been suffering, because these energies can be very triggering and overwhelming, because it's a lot of emotions that is coming up to the surface, and it's for the whole collective. But these triggers has a purpose. So that is why I want you to be conscious about all these triggers, like people are triggering you, or circumstances, events, or that something is coming up in your reality that is triggering you, like from a memory from your childhood, or a memory that you weren't enough, that you weren't loved, that you weren't seen, you weren't heard. It's all of these triggers that we have been programmed with. And we also have been programmed to respond in a certain way when we are getting triggered. Like in my past my past life, not my past life, my past self, like how I was when my ego was the one who was controlling myself. I was very explosive in my emotions. I could get easily angry, easily sad. I was seeing myself as a victim very many times, and I was confused by everything that was going on within me, and I wasn't aligned with my own true self at all. I was very, very far from being one with all, and for being my true self, which we all are. We all have this God aspect, source aspect within us, but we have forgotten it. We have forgotten it for everything that we have been through eons, through very many ages. And why these energies is so powerful right now, it's because it's time to make a change. It's time for humanity and the whole earth to change. The earth is already changed, and she is bringing us with her. We don't really have a choice. We have these two timelines, the third dimension and the fifth dimension, and these timelines are splitting, and that is why the world is it could be very chaotic, but if you choose your higher path or the higher timelines, you will still be aware and conscious that you will still see it, but you won't be dragged into that chaos and into that way of being, because you can see the higher aspect, or the higher perspective of it all. Like it's a transformation, it's an evolution, it's a part of the ascension. And the part of ascension, to be ascending, it's to dissolving that ego that was controlling you, that was controlling your mind, that all these limiting beliefs, they are also an aspect of source, but it's not that we did not wanted to experience it, because it has been an experience for expansion, because the universe always wanted to expand and to see what it was like to be in that third dimensional reality, and see how we were fighting each other instead of being in unity. And these new energies and this new earth that is being birthed is making us live more from our hearts. And when we take responsibility for how we are acting towards other persons, and how we are setting boundaries for how we are being treated by others. Because the work you will do on yourself will reflect how you will see or how you will respond to your own reality. Because we are creating our own reality from within and not from the external. So when we take responsibilities for our own shadow, we're doing our shadow work, and we are being healed from what we have been feeling before, that's when we can see the real change, both in ourselves but also in the world. Because if everyone was taking responsibilities for their own selves, like if everyone was taking care of themselves and giving themselves love and respect, the whole world would be a so much different place from where we are right now. And I know that some people are getting more affected right now about of these new energies, because maybe it's your time to really integrate these new energies, so you can be you, so you can be a leader for another wave of awakenings that is coming after this. Because we aren't really awakening at the same time, because that will be a little bit messy maybe. Because an awakening, it's all about that you can't really hide from yourself anymore. You can't hide from your shadow anymore, because it's want to be resolved. It's like the universe is telling you that you are ready to wake up now. You are ready to take responsibility for your own creation, for your own life, for your own self, and see how magnificent you are and how wonderful life really is when you see the greatness in everything that we are. Because we have been, the mind is always playing us tricks, like that we aren't enough, that we aren't loved, and that we can't get our dreams into our own reality, that we can't have this and that. But that's all a false, that is coming from a false identity that we have been in, and we are moving away from that and moving into creating this new way of being, of new possibilities, of new positive energies that is bringing so much light and so much more than we could ever imagine. Because the world and the whole universe is a very, very magical place when we learn how to use it, and when we learn that we are responsible for everything that is going on to us. Everything. In this new earth, you can't really be, you can't really no longer be the victim, because we are going from the victimhood into this new empowerment, this new empowered state of being, because that's what we are. We are natural, we are natural empowered, if you can say that. Our true natural state of being, our light being, our divine nature, is to be already complete, already whole, and already with one, with all and everything. And that is why I say I am you and you are me, because when we are seeing everything as a whole, that I can see myself in another, that everything is God, everything is source, everything is universe, then you can't really go about and fighting each other anymore, because you will still fight yourself if you're fighting another human being. And life will get so much easier when you can see another aspect of yourself in another human being, and you can choose how you want to react and how you want to be towards this other person. Are you going to be hateful or judgmental, or do you want to play a different role from that reality that we are playing out right now? Because it's playing out itself and the darkness is getting really, really loud right now, but that's okay. It's okay, because it's a final stage of the darkness to say that I want to be more, I want to be more, I want to be here, I want to be here. And it's like, it's really grabbing on to those who are fearful and still very, very unconscious. And the light will not stop. These energies won't stop because people are getting fearful and being very triggered. It's the opposite, actually. This will just continue until people will do their own work, until people will realize how beautiful this world is, if we stop fighting each other and fighting ourselves. And you only gain happiness when you can stop resisting your own shadow, when you stop resisting your own self. Like how I do it is, today when I was really triggered, I can feel really anxious. I can feel like a whole bunch of anger is residing within me and is wanting, that I know that is wanting to be released. And I am also aware and I'm conscious enough to know I'm not it. I'm not this anger that is coming out from me. It's not the anger that is within me. It's the shadow that still wants to be me, but I take a conscious choice and I'm not letting it taking me over anymore as it used to, because I'm choosing not to be that person who is angry anymore, because I want to be loving. If I want to love myself, I want to love every human being. I want to show everyone respect because I want my respect. And I want to love everyone as they are because I love myself for everything that I have been, I am, and what I am becoming. It's very crucial to not see that something is wrong. And don't say that something is wrong within you, because it has been a part of you and maybe still is, and that is okay. Don't judge yourself, because if you're judging yourself, you're judging another human being again. So stop the judgment of yourself and be kind to yourself and let yourself just be. If you're feeling a very confusing feeling, maybe it's coming out of nowhere, just remind yourself that that's your unconscious mind saying, I want to be seen, I want to be loved, I want to be held, and I want to be released. Please release me. And to release it, you always have to feel it. It's want to be felt, for you to recognize it and saying, I'm sorry for being you, but I won't be you anymore, and I am now releasing you for good. Thank you for being me. but now I want to be a new me. And that is how you release it. When it gets really, really frustrating, or I can actually get really emotional. But if you have the self-awareness of who you are becoming, who you are wanting to be, because you can be anything you want to be. Your soul knows. You, deep within you, you know how you want to react. And everyone can change. Everyone can change. It's a conscious choice. And when you are feeling these feelings residing within you, arising within you, the best way you can do it is by breathing. I take a few deep breaths just before I feel it, because then I know now it will come. And if I don't want to be reactive, I have to stay conscious all the way through. Because if I stay conscious, I will see myself being in it, but not being it. And I will say, I will take this breath now and I will release my unconscious choice of being this. And I will say to myself that it's time to let go now, and I will never be this way again. I release it. And then you just take a deep breath, full lungs, and then you release it. And that will be, it will be so nice when you have done it, and you will feel relieved by your own conscious choice that you wanted to release it, and that you are wanting to feel it. Like, it's not dangerous. Maybe yes, it is uncomfortable, but it's not dangerous to feel it. It's not dangerous to feel anxiety. It's not dangerous to feel fear. It's not dangerous to feel angry. But if you don't want to react and respond in that way that you have been before, it's a way of feeling your way out of that old way of being, and say to yourself that I've had enough. Say to your own shadow self, or your ego, your past ego, that I'm done. I'm not going to be programmed to being like this anymore. I've had it. I'm taking this new way of being and I make it my new reality, and my new conscious choice of being divine and being divinely guided, because you're always divinely guided. Always. And be brave enough to take responsibility for your own actions, and you will, if you make other people happy, you will make yourself happy. If you are hurting someone, you're hurting yourself, and you don't want to do that anymore. I promise. And I will love to come back to you and do some more videos, so I can help you to go through these times, because I, as a person, can't really say how long this will take us and how long this will take for humanity. We can't really wait for it, like, I hope this is over next week or something, because if we are getting too stuck on the circumstances that is going on within us, we are being more frustrated. The best way to go through this is to just let go with the flow, let everything just be, come and go, and you will be all right. Because the more you just let go and do your shadow work, the easier it will get to come to this blissfulness and to come to unity consciousness. The more you resist, the more anger you will feel about not getting there. And the spirit, like, it's what's the purpose of knowing how it will all end or continue? It's like sometimes we have to be thankful and grateful for the surprise of just living, the surprise of life. Like, but if you want to be more happily surprised by the universe, maybe you should expect it more. But sometimes we are not really expecting miracles, we are not expecting something great to happen. And if we are not expecting it, then you can't really get it, because you're choosing your own reality. So if you're choosing to believe in miracles, you will get it. You will get it. So I have no idea how long this video is, but I'm hoping that you are still listening, because this is I can't really get the words out, because I feel this is such a great time of big changes. Yeah. So that's enough for me, I think. I have a lot of thoughts and feelings to talk about, but I will save that to another time. Thank you so much for listening, and God is with you, Source is with you, and the universe will always be within you and not outside of you. I love you so much. I love you. I love you. Bye.